Welcome to Clash of the Podcast, episode 42, coming to you guys following a tremendous Father's Day for myself, my tag partner, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, Sean Hubbard, in the building as well. And we're going to be getting into some lovely celebrations of the Juneteenth for the remainder of the day. We got Monday Night Raw today. If you need some potential excitement in your life, I'm sure WWE Monday Night Raw will deliver it to you. We're going to be talking about topics that I think we've been talking about for the past 42 weeks, it feels like. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline storyline, CM Punk, AEW Collision, and all the fallout from that. We're going to get into that and get Sean's thoughts, feedback, mine as well. And we're going to get into some decent topics, and I would love to hear from the chat with this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching live. Audio listeners, hit that 5-star review on mine and Sean's podcast channels. With that being said, Sean, I don't know what it is, but I keep feeling like there's something I'm supposed to do, but I always forget.
Oh, yeah. Conrad, drop that thing.
Beautiful thing. It is it's hot in these streets here in Buffalo. I don't know how it is in NYC, Sean.
It is warm. It is warm, to say the very least.
Man. Clash of the Podcast, though, it's good, man. I hope you had a tremendous Father's Day and Juneteenth celebration. Gotta always show love to Juneteenth. It's a big thing here in Buffalo. Has been for years and years. I don't think a lot of people have known that, but now it's like a national holiday, I think, in the past couple of years. So I hope you enjoyed it, brother.
Same to you, man. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Juneteenth to you. It's truly a blessing to have a platform where we can be our authentic selves. Both of us being Black men, both of us, having our voices and wanting to do our thing and be encouraging to those who listen to us, man. I go a little bit more the spiritual route, but at the same time, we're both so dedicated to our craft and also to being our authentic selves, like I said a second ago. So I'm proud to be a Black man, proud to be a human being, and just proud to be alive, man. So God bless you, my brother Conrad. We've become true friends off this podcast thing. I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful for everybody who's watching.
Back at you, man. Let's not waste any time. We got some people who are putting some great comments in here, starting at 5:58. I love it. They know that 6:05. They know what time it is, and that's every Monday. I don't even feel like I have to put that anymore, but I do because it's a tagline. All right, you know where to be every Monday, man. Come in, show support, bring a friend. All right, tell them talk some everything pro wrestling with us, and talk some Hubbard Wrestling Weekly with us, because this is what we do all the time. This is it, baby. This is it. Joel, first one in here, he said, "Hey guys, what up?" Hey Joel. Guy Will Gamble said, "It finally happened." I don't know what you mean by that.
No, I know what he means.
Oh, I know what he means with that emoji, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Joel putting the finger up at that comment too. He was a fan. Doug in the house. He said, "Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Hubbard, with another compelling episode of Clash of the Podcast."
I'm humbled by that. Thank you so much.
My intro was too long for just one message. You keep it coming, Doug. You tell us how you feel, bro. Put some respect on Conrad name, though.
Oh, that's a fact.
Thank you, guy. But I'll never hate if someone's getting accolades.
That's a fact. We do this together, bro. We're gonna be, mark my word, we're gonna get put on together too. I believe that.
Darn right. Put us down, put us on. I did, and then the first half disappeared. You're good, brother. You're good. Sir Quills in the house. What up, Sean? He said, yeah, buddy, my favorite part of Monday is Clash of the Podcast is here. What's up, Conrad Sean in the chat? Conrad Sean, I've been waiting to hear your thoughts. Let's get to the chopping this fable.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Quills. I appreciate Gamble. Appreciate all you guys, but specifically Quills, Gamble, and McKinney giving me a lot of good stuff in my Instagram, man. I appreciate you guys.
Much love. And Quill said, and by the way, Kyron Sean, hopefully you both had a great Father's Day.
Thank you so much.
I see the intern out there now watering the grass, so get to work.
There you go.
Sky Blue stole the show on Saturday, and I'm happy the Usos kicked Roman. Wow, B-Boy Skyline, what's good, Jay? Appreciate you. Ray Thompson's been someone leaving some good comments too, even after the fact on like some of the reviews that we do on the channel. And he said, "Hope everyone is having a good Monday. Pump for the pay-per-view on Sunday." Who you telling who's pumped? I got to do a wedding before that too. It's gonna be a rough weekend for me.
Not a rough weekend. It's a busy weekend.
Oh no, it's gonna be rough, bro. Because it's like night and then get up and go. Let's go. So that's what it's gonna be for me. I am hoping Omega gets that dub again. Should be a fun show though. I'm looking forward to that. We can, truthfully, we should probably talk about some of it. I'll see if I can find the card and pull it up for us here. Maybe we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. I'm looking for some excitement in my life, Guy Will Campbell. Rob in the house. This was Rob helped me run that name for this week's episode, and he also called this As the World Turns, previously on As the Clash Turns.
I like that.
Love it. XGW, much love.
XGW,
yo, Hub, I heard CM Punk was back with the smart aleck emoji.
E, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. You're a funny guy.
He said it's 81 in the Boogie Down Bronx right now.
It's climbing.
McKinney in the house. Yo, I'm here to talk wrestling and give the best live chat, Conrad and Sean, a crispy high five.
Yes, sir, appreciate you.
Air 5 you right back, bro. Right back.
You.
I can't do this one. I'm not allowed.
M. Leezy 4 Sheezy. What up, though?
What up, Matt? Appreciate you. And he says, good evening, everyone. Happy Father's Day. Much appreciated, bro. BJ in the house. He said, what up, y'all? Happy Juneteenth. Appreciate that, BJ. BJ, thank you for filling in on AEW Collision. We had a little special episode, and BJ was co-hosting with me. Much appreciated. It was a fun episode to talk about. Noob in the house. Hello, how are you doing today, Noob? I am good, brother. Noob gives the best shout-outs on wrestling Twitter. Got to show him some love. Showing love. How did y'all enjoy this past week's episode of Days of Our Usos? Look at this, man. Happy Father's Day. Have a relaxed Juneteenth. I can't skip these comments, I feel like.
No.
We didn't always have it, and we can lose it at any time. We all in this together. I appreciate that.
Strong and accurate. Appreciate that, man.
For sure. Happy Father's Day to all. Thank you, McKinney. Thank you for that. And happy Juneteenth. Rocky 2 ending. Cut it out. You know who hasn't seen Rocky? No other way to start out the week. Jocelyn. Much love.
Appreciate you. Gave me a follow, and of course I returned the favor on Twitter. Very active, very what's what I'm looking for? Very educating in the world of pro wrestling. Appreciate you.
All love, man. Always good to talk to Jocelyn, one of the well-respected women in the chat. Keep that respect going for the ladies in the chat as well. Let me see here. Sick on Twitch watching us. What up, Sick? Always got to show love to my guy, Sick. Always good. Y'all need a soap opera organ sound at this point.
Kind of, sort of.
We can get one. Look at E. E showing you some love right there. He knows.
That's reciprocated, brother. Appreciate you.
Chad in the house. Hold on. All right, Chad. What up, Conrad Sean? Chad, can you keep me in your prayers today? Because I went to Med Express and I have a hives rash on my left arm. I'm hoping it goes away soon. Chad, thoughts and prayers are with you, my friend.
I am very much an advocate of prayer. I believe prayer does change things. Not going to preach to y'all. I think that's starting to become one of my lines too. Not going to preach to y'all, but ... God is real, and I'll be praying for you, Chad.
Let's see here. Noob coming in. The one thing I hate is Charlotte Flair in that one-piece clothes. I know that a lot of Asuka fans on Twitter are still uber pissed that Asuka is facing Charlotte next week.
Bruh, check my Twitter. All I'm going to say is check my Twitter around SmackDown time of last week. My feelings on Charlotte Flair are very apparent. Do me a favor, Charlotte. Go get some hips.
Shout out to Doug. For us wrestling fans, it's also Rey Mysterio Day. 619. And he said it's definitely less important than Juneteenth, but it is good to recognize Rey Mysterio when we can. He's one of my all-time favorites, if you guys never knew that. Had to tell Cactus to be quiet this Friday because the tribal chief was speaking. I see the corrections down there. How CM Punk not see Rocky when he had the real life Clubber leg? Quiet, E. Prediction. Pain. I love it. Tokyo the Menace has joined the chat. Overpushed, overrated Charlotte.
Yeah, wow. Under-hipped. No, listen, I'm gonna say it right now, bro. Listen. You can't be dressing like that when you got no butt and no hips. It's infuriating, bro. It is infuriating. And then when somebody like Bianca Belair comes out looking amazing, it's like, bruh, that's how you're supposed to look in a one-piece cat suit, whatever you want to call it, like whatever that spandex thing. Charlotte, you are a first ballot Hall of Famer. Not a big fan of you, but I do respect you. Bruh, you have no butt, you have no hips. Stop it.
We here at Clash of the Podcast respect little booties as well. There is no hate. I gotta run PR on this. We got this. We respect the little booties around here. All right. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Let me say something to you, Conrad. Okay. Let me
just do my PR.
Let me say something to you. Okay. It is no secret. I've lost a few pounds, but it's no secret that I am an overweight guy. Okay. I'm working on it. Dropped about 15 pounds. Give me some love in the chat. Okay. But I should not, until I get to my desired weight, I should not be walking around with no shirt. It's just the way it is. If you have no butt and you have no hips, stop wearing bodysuits. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not taking it back.
Once again, we here do little booties do matter. Thank you. Little booties matter. Shout out to the little booties. All right. Here comes the menace. Talking about we respect Sky Blue during this conversation. If someone wants to have a real butt in WWE, better sign Natalia Markova. Wow. I like Sean's grill. It's very oozy.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate
you. BJ, you ain't getting me in trouble, bro. I see what you put, but you ain't getting me in trouble.
You know what makes me mad? It makes me mad that I don't know what that stands for. I'm slow right now. I don't get it.
Itty bitty booty committee.
Oh, BJ, you are so accurate, and thank you for the comment. For real.
That ain't no booty. That's a bottom. I'm done.
Bro, thank you. See, my people in my chat are starting to understand. Listen, I'm not hating. Like I said a second ago, I'm a big guy. I've lost about 15 pounds. I got about 30 to go. Until I drop that 30, I should not be walking around with no shirt, right? You got no booty. You got no hips. Stop wearing bodysuits. You look like a walking lowercase L.
Big guys should only go shirtless at home unless you got money like Rick Ross.
Come on, bro. And I'm not, listen, until I drop this extra 30, I'm keeping my shirt on. No more bodysuits if you have no hips, bro.
But when I dropped a bunch of weight, I was keeping the shirt on. I can't be doing that out in these streets. Can't be having your stuff all messed up. But listen. We're here to talk some wrestling, which we were talking technically.
Yes.
All right. Little booties matter. We all support.
Would you stop it? Stop it. Little booties don't matter, but you know what? Little booties and no hips, no bodysuits. That's the point.
Sean is appreciating
I'm going to come through this computer screen, Conrad.
Let's talk the Bloodline Civil War.
Oh, boy.
In reality, Sean got what he wanted, kinda, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I'll get into what my thoughts.
You described that perfectly, bro.
Bloodline Civil War. Who will be the ones I like that. Titled very well. Who will be the ones?
The poster is amazing. No question.
Oh yeah, I got this straight up from WWE. Yeah. Much love to the E. But give me what you think here, Sean. What are you feeling on this? What are you or aren't you feeling?
I'm feeling disappointed. I'm feeling disappointed because I'm sorry, Conrad. I just want to make sure that our audio is still good.
Go ahead.
Okay, my fault. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm feeling disappointed because we should have got this 4 months ago. I feel like it was great. I feel like Jey turning on Roman was good, but I just feel like we've been robbed, bro. I feel like we've been robbed. I feel like if this had happened in January and February, it would have had so much more of a long-lasting effect. I truly believe that if Jey had turned back in January or February, that it would have put him in line to not only face Roman Reigns, but to beat Roman Reigns. It would have been that good. It would have been that believable. It would have been that exciting. It would have been that intriguing, where Jey would have become world champion, in my opinion. And now it's kind of like Jey. Don't get me wrong. Jey is still on fire right now. I think Jey and Jimmy have never been better than they are at this very moment. But I just can't help feeling that we missed an opportunity here, Conrad.
Well, from your standpoint, you've been calling it for a while. I think it's you're coming at it from a different perspective than I think most WWE fans would.
No, I disagree, brother. I think a lot of fans feel the way I do. I think a lot of fans. Now, I'm going to say this to give you some credit. I think a lot of fans feel the way I do, but I think a lot of fans also understand that you've been right the whole time because you've been more realistic.
Right, but it's not realistic. It's knowing what you're right. It's realistic because it's knowing what WWE is going to do. This is what they do countlessly. I feel like this is the same record, and we're playing it over and over and over again. And I'm telling y'all now, I feel disappointment is coming. Disappointment has to be coming with this. But they cut a great impassioned promo with this. Now, you know me, bro. I'm not the first person to tell you how much I love this this whole bloodline thing. Listen, this has been going on longer or just as long as anything that they've ever done storyline wise. Can you think of a story that's been longer than this? Bret Hart and Jerry Lawler, maybe?
I can't. Bret Hart and Jerry Lawler started getting into it late in the mid '93.
King of the Ring '93, and
we're talking about SummerSlam '93 all the way through '94. I mean, it continued.
'95 even. Yeah. They had Isaac Yankem.
Right. It continued also via the broadcast booth. But yeah, I mean, if you want to stretch it, you could say 95, 2 years, 95.
Yeah, that's a lot. And this is still getting on the point of being longer, right? It's a saga with pit stops, points, and different things that you can do in there. I don't know what else that they can do. I still stand behind that. I believe this is all going to amount to a big nothing burger. And we're going to be right back to where we were at one point. What I would love to have happen if I'm fantasy booking is Jacob Fatu comes in and takes their place. But I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
Well, the bloodline has diminished now to a team of two. So to me, that's not a stable. It's now a tag team. I like stables. I've always said this to you. I probably like stables a little bit more than I should. I feel like if stables make sense, I think stables are the best thing in wrestling. And that's why, and I do believe that the bloodline have been exactly. Amen. And I also feel that the bloodline have been the best thing in wrestling. But the problem is, where do you go from here? Because the next thing on the list is Solo turning on Roman, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And you do? You think it's coming? Okay.
I think there's going to be a riff amongst all, and I think this can lead to a four-way at SummerSlam. I think they're buying time, Sean. I really believe they have no opponents they feel are credible for Roman.
But see, like I said before, and I'll say it again. And by the way, to the chat, I did not watch SmackDown or Raw live this week, and I will continue to not watch them live. But I said I would never watch that product again, and I stuck to that. If Jey turned on Jimmy, that did not happen. So I do not have to ban WWE from my television because they didn't do the one thing I told them that they better not do, thankfully. But it's still a disappointment. It's still, to me, Jey, as excited as everybody was on Friday night, it could have been better, and it should have been better, and would have been better if it happened back in February. So now we're looking, like Conrad just said, at trying to kind of buy time. The tag match makes sense because you can have Seth defend the world title. That's the point of having the world title on Raw, because now you're not going to be the void of a world championship if Roman is either off the show or in an alternate storyline match, right? So that's good. But then you look at the situation for what it is. Okay, Roman Reigns is the world champion, the undisputed champion. He's in a feud with his cousins. Go ahead.
Why is he carrying around 3 belts?
I don't know.
Back in. Someone in the chat, someone answer that for me. Ridiculous.
It's too much. You know what? I actually was cool with him having the belts in the back. I like the three belt setup, but him walking to the ring with 3 belts and Heyman carrying 2 belts on his shoulder is ridiculous. Makes no sense.
I feel like they want that boxing promoter type vibe from this, or it's a rib on Heyman, and they just don't want to tell us that.
No, I don't think it's a rib on Heyman. I think it's probably the earlier of the one. It's the one where you're saying like it's like kind of a boxing, kind of like walking down the aisle kind of a thing. I'm a big fan of multiple belts, but 3 belts is just out of control, right? So, because to me, if the WWE Championship's lineage continues and the Universal Championship lineage continues, then either you keep with 2 belts, or the lineage continues with the undisputed belt until somebody beats him. But the thing is, my question is this, just to kind of go off on a tangent a little bit, I'm mad about the whole idea that you have a situation where you have the Universal Champion and WWE Champion, similar to the way you have the Raw Tag Team Champions and the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They've unified the belts, and now you can only win all the belts at one time. It's like Sammy and Kevin are defending both sets of championships together every week.
Oh, man. And can I speak on this, too, real quick? Totally off topic. Actually, I kind of want to get into some other things, too. But what were they do? What was the rest of this episode of SmackDown? What? I was so confused. Is Austin Theory aligned with Pretty Deadly? When was this established? Like, what is... You get what I'm saying? Like, for the past couple of weeks, they've just been doing some weird stuff lately where I'm like, what? Okay, I guess. And they just move forward. But everyone's so focused on this storyline that they don't see the other bad things. Look at me. The Street Profits lost in 3 minutes. Where is the consistency? What are we doing?
Outside of the Bloodline, which, by the way, still leaves a little, even though it's been done well, still leaves a little bit to be desired, okay? Outside of the Bloodline, WWE has nothing going on except maybe Seth Rollins. WWE is a trash product right now, bro. And Charlotte's onesie did not help.
It's Is that what those? No, I'm not even repeating that. I can't. Send all your Charlotte Flair fans to @Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on Twitter.
Listen, I said she's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but you look like a lowercase L, man. Stop wearing onesies. No, but let's bring. I'm having some fun here, but seriously, the structure of the shows, the storylines of the shows have been totally inconsistent, and inconsistent to compliment. Because honestly, it's not even inconsistent; it's just non-existent.
That's a possible shirt, but that is a good way to put it. Write that down for you. Put a star next to this right now. 2323.
I'll write it down.
Back it up a little after that.
Yeah, tell me if that's his shirt. I'm gonna take my brother's lead on that one.
That is very true. We'll save that for the idea tank. So look, Ray was asking some good questions actually for us earlier on a different video, and he said, after Mania, I care more about what's going on with Cody than I do with the Bloodline. I feel all of this could have been done without Roman remaining champ. I do not agree with that, but I wanted to get your thoughts on that, Sean. Do you care about anything else that's happening on the product more than the Bloodline? Because I don't feel that way. With Cody especially. I feel Brock being non-existent has made this fall short. And I get that they're trying to build Dominic at the same time. But I feel like the stock is falling and nobody's realizing it yet.
I have zero interest in Monday Night Raw with the exception of the 10 minutes that Seth Rollins is on television. And I have no interest in SmackDown other than the 10 minutes that Bloodline's on television. Period.
That's fair. Guy Will Gamble says, I think the extension of the story worked well for Jimmy, though. Jay's back on fire, too, fortunately.
Touche. That's a good point, Gamble. That's a good point.
Sir Quills, the Usos should win this match just due to the fact that the Usos are the pure tag team. One of my biggest pet peeves in pro wrestling, and this goes for any promotion, do you remember when CM Punk and Jon Moxley on an episode of Dynamite faced FTR and they beat them? I was like, why would two main event singles guys beat a tag team? This is what they do. I just always feel like the tag team should win because that's their specialty. They know how to get it going. And I just never understood why they always do that. Can you do it sometimes? Sure. But not all the time where the tag team loses to the main event guys.
There's only one tag team, in my opinion, of two main event world champions getting together that should have been world tag team champions. And it's not the team that ended up winning it, which is the two-man power trip. The Mega Power should have won the World Tag Team Championship, and then the Mega Power should have went on. Do your homework, guys. And I know you know the storyline like the back of your hand. I think the Mega Power should have won the belts. They should have went on, and they should have vacated the titles after they broke up. And that would have been an easy way to give the titles over to Demolition, who ended up being champions.
Or the Rockers. I just always wanted Sean and Marty to get that tag reign.
The Rockers weren't ready by 89, but they were ready by 90. But anyway, my point is, you're right. These makeshift tag teams putting together main eventers and then having them beat polished, tremendous tag teams, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just a waste of time with them. Let me see here. Roman is solo, but this Roman Reigns, he hardly loses, but nevertheless, I'm still going with the Usos to win. And that could possibly happen. Disappointment is coming. Should I laugh like Shaq? Weren't they supposed to wrestle Survivor Series 92?
King and Brett? I don't think so.
No. Survivor Series 93, they were supposed to have a match, but that's when we'll just call it the Taco Bell incident happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys can look that up for yourselves. Get parents' permission first before you guys call that hotline number.
Guy Will Gamble, the answer to your question is Demolition.
Don't be disappointed, Sean. It's a 7-course meal. Savor what they give you in each segment. We're being impatient. Let it all play out and enjoy the ride. It's the only thing they're getting right.
McKinney, my guy, I have grown to respect you so much, and I believe that you respect me too, brother. But impatient? We're being impatient? This is ridiculous. No, I can't be any more patient than I've been. No, sir.
I think this is all gonna end up making people mad in the long run when I think stuff starts to play the way we say. I mean, maybe listen. What they've been good at is giving you like a little carrot of hope, but then they snatch it away. Just like with the Sami Zayn thing, they gave you that carrot of hope. It finally happened. The people were worked up into it. What did I say? The important thing was going to be, where is Sami Zayn after WrestleMania? Pretty deadly. I mean, like, I'm not mad at it. I'm happy him and Kevin are tag champs, but they're far removed from this story now. What are you doing?
They are far removed. They're trying to get Sammy's toe back into it, but
that's why when people argue that like WWE's tag division is better than AEW's right now, I don't really want to hear it. I'm like, nah, I don't agree with that. I can't with that. Rob says, give me Jacob and Lance now. I'm just trying to jump to some comments here. We're getting some good stuff coming in. Triple H and HBK storyline was on and off from 02 to no, I don't ever want to relive that again. That was one that this is never ever. They just kept going on and on. And when HBK stole the contract from He Who We Shall Not Speak Of, I was like, what are we doing right now? Dude, you can't. That's not how business works. You just walk into a corporate setting, super kick someone. I'm signing the contract instead.
And you know something? I was at WrestleMania 20, and the fans were booing Shawn Michaels, not because they hated Shawn Michaels, but he who shall remain nameless was the guy who everybody wanted to win at the time. So HBK being inserted in the match, to your point, Conrad, it was kind of like, what's going on here?
Just to touch on 04 for a little bit while we're here. I definitely had lost sight of things that were happening during that time, I feel, because I got so many predictions wrong. I thought Brock Lesnar was going to destroy Eddie Guerrero. I was like, yeah, there's no way Eddie's beating this dude. I remember someone told me in school the next day, and I had to go to the computer lab, like during, like, I don't know if it was like study hall or whatever it was. I was like, nah, fam, sign me out right now. I need to get down there for something. I went and looked, and I saw Eddie Guerrero with the title doing the shimmy and all that, and I was like, bro, what on earth are we doing here? And it happened. And then I was like, oh, there's no way that he who we shall not speak of is going to win the Royal Rumble. He just wasn't in my mind to win. I was like, I have no clue who's going to win this. And then when he won, I'm like, I should have seen all these things coming, and I never did at the time. So great story. I was happy he won at the time. I'm a big fan of he who we shall not speak of. It actually hurts me to like even talk about like this stuff.
You're not a fan of what he did. You were a fan of what he did in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not one of those people that I can't go back and watch it. I've done reviews on it, and I'll talk about it in his work in high praise. But
he'll never. I'll say it right here and now. He'll never be in the Hall of Fame. But you should not take out what he did. You should not eliminate from your mind what he did. Okay, it's a terrible thing. But if you look at his strictly in-ring work, he was one of the best to ever do it. It's just outside the ring, he did something catastrophic and unforgivable, and it is what it is.
Doug says it's got to be a rib on Heyman. I think so, too. I think they're just trying to be funny with it. Raw isn't worth 3 hours of wrestling. Infomercial SmackDown is worth the 2 hours of wrestling, but highlights be fire. Like I said, go watch everything else on the show, though. We're not talking with that same energy for it. So how come you're building this so well, but not the other things? That's my concern. Rob says it's a rib on Heyman at this point. People are getting into it. Let me see here. I'm jumping to, let's go to Pro Wrestling Shoot. What's good? I see the Europe.
Pro Wrestling Shoot, what up?
For the visual one, Omega had 4 belts, even through with the TNA and Impact titles were already unified. Yeah, Omega was doing a belt collector gimmick, so that one you roll your eyes at, but that's
a little Ultimo Dragon vibes.
Yeah, same belt, different colors. They're trying to do the Kenny Omega thing from last year or so. Pretty Deadly and Theory have been aligned for a couple weeks now. Theory is attached because he needs to ride Pretty Deadly's coattails since Cena crushed him.
Theoretically deadly.
Also, where is Ford in the Money in the Bank if the Profits aren't doing anything? This man will not stop flaming Charlotte. The enemy of my enemy is my friend for both Pretty Deadly and Theory. They were going after the Brutes at first. Okay. Let me see. Pro Wrestling Shoot. Sorry, Quills. Quills is talking about unifying the belts. NXT tag belts are stupid. So they went right back to their original idea from a year ago or 2 years ago now, maybe at this point, to have the belts plain buffoonery, like you said. Pro Wrestling Shoe said, I find it hard to call it a trash product. I'm not currently watching, but they still pull numbers and continue to sell tickets. So a lot of people are still liking the product. Why won't people hear me on this? Damn it. I'm getting mad. So listen, with Fox, dude in the cornfields can watch Fox. He probably only has 3 channels, and Fox is one of them. That's why more people watch this. Do they watch it because it's good? I watch with people who aren't wrestling fans every week. They're interested in the Uso storyline. Go ask the person that you watch who knows nothing about wrestling who Austin Theory is. Go ask them who Pretty Deadly is right now. Go ask them about the Brawling Brutes. Go ask them about Butch. Go ask them about Butch. See how many people know who Butch is. This is cap to an extent. I get it. They get these good ratings. Raw's ratings have been going down. I don't see any reports about that and like, oh, it's great, it's all that. No, theirs have been going down again too. It's the summertime. People are outside. I'm not saying that it's all bad, but what I'm saying is this is some Hogan era stuff right now. And even with Hogan, you were still building the other guys. What are you doing to build other people? Why should I care about Butch, Madcap Moss? They suck. I said it. The characters suck. I want Pete Dunne back. Sean, jump in at any point with this. I'm just frustrated.
I think that you can stumble into watching SmackDown. And I think since you can stumble into watching SmackDown, there's some people that normally don't watch or wouldn't watch, but that's the only thing, like you said. The person with rabbit ears on their television can watch SmackDown. That counts towards the ratings. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I challenge you. I challenge anyone to tell me compelling storylines on either show outside of Seth Rollins or the Bloodline. I challenge you. Like I said, even Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are starting to cool off. Cody Rhodes, in my mind, ice cold. Cody Rhodes right now is ice cold.
And I see what McKinney's saying about they established a connection, but here's the other thing, though. They are missing points to some of this, too, to where we've talked about it. Why did the Judgment Day turn on Edge when Edge was undefeated that year, acting like he was some type of loser? Edge was winning. He had no problem. You went with the dude who's lost his last 7 pay-per-view matches like this is the better thing for us. I don't get it. I didn't see it that way. So just sometimes they do weird things like that. Pretty Deadly is supposed to be an established tag team, and they put them with Theory, and I'm just like, okay, but that doesn't mesh.
I want to take a moment and address Pro Wrestling Shoot because I'm seeing some of the comments coming in. I would say this, bro. Pro Wrestling Shoot, big shout out to you, man. Sometimes people watch out of habit. You gotta understand. Sometimes people watch
and hope.
It doesn't. Hope is actually really even better way to put it. Just because I'm watching, well, in my case, watching on DVR doesn't mean that I'm interested. It means that I'm hoping that something good happens. But you know something, man? When I come home from work on Tuesday afternoon, around 3:30 in the afternoon, and you know I'm picking my kid up from school, and I get home, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just see what happened on Raw last night, and I skim through. That counts towards the rating. I think it's a little bit different, like it's DVR ratings compared to like live ratings. But the bottom line is, I'm still watching. That doesn't mean I'm into it. WWE is a disappointing product. It really, really is. WWE is a disappointing product, and it continues to be week in and week out. Monday Night Raw is a freaking train wreck, bro.
And I want to argue this too with Pro Wrestling Shoot. That's not an excuse in 2023, Conrad. I can watch all wrestling for free. Absolutely, you can. And you know what I'll tell you? We're six in this chat somewhere. We have friends in a group chat. Shout out to XGW. I'm not going to name your name specifically, but there are people in our group chat who watch AEW every week. And guess how they watch it? On a stream that doesn't count towards any ratings. They don't know how you are watching it. You know why? Because they don't want to pay for cable. So what is that? Do they not count? They're watching, they're tweeting, they're talking. They know if you're like, yeah, what's going on with the international title? They know what's going on. So what's that then? And I'm sure there's people who do the same thing for WWE. These numbers aren't as small as people think either. This could be cable's a dying medium, which is what we've been told for years. And I don't know why now all of a sudden it's like ratings. Who cares? We're talking about this show is good too.
And I would challenge, you know, Pro Wrestling Shooter, anyone, you know, because I'm a black and white guy. And what I mean, but I'm a statistics guy. I look at things in black and white. Hey, you're pulling in 2 million viewers. You must be doing good. I respect where you're coming from. I get what you're trying to say. But my simple question to you, Pro Wrestling Shoot, in response is, do you like what you see?
Raw selling buildings. This is what I'm talking about. Who's buying tickets to this? Who is doing this? Are you hoping to see Roman? Is that it? What else is there to be excited about?
Yo, a couple weeks ago, I had a chance to go to a WWE live show in White Plains, New York, for free, and I decided to take my behind home. I had nothing to do that night. I had to pick up my kid, chill. I was not interested, bro.
In other eras, you would have fought for those tickets.
Exactly.
I would have squared up with someone for the tickets. It's just different now. Raw can pull in over 1 million, sometimes 2 million. I don't know where these numbers are coming from. All of a sudden, everyone had cable and decided to watch wrestling again. You get what I'm saying? Like, how was it so bad before and now it's so much better? I don't feel that. I don't feel that about the product. On a side note, they are wasting Grayson Waller. I think Grayson Waller's actually been one of the better breath of fresh airs. Grayson Waller, I'm about to get bold right here, Sean, while we're talking WWE. Grayson Waller he has what they want Theory to have, but they want Grayson Waller to have the wrestling ability that Theory has. That's a fact.
That makes sense. I can roll with that.
I listen to Busted Open almost every morning before work, and they have fans calling it all the time, putting over Raw and mid-card storylines. I will doo-doo on that thought process. I will doo-doo on it. Cody got his Punk money. Let him enjoy his Palace of Solitude. Have fun. What's the purpose of hiring Hollywood writers if all they come up with being thrown away for former wrestlers or Heyman? Heyman's writing the Bloodline storyline. That's what I'm talking about. Why do you have all these people sitting in an office? Cut that money first before anything. I'm sorry. Like, that's just how I feel. If Heyman's writing the best stuff, what are we doing? WWE's momentum is all falling slowly. It's called inertia. Knicks ain't won a thing in my whole life. Their building is sold out like clockwork. How you feel about that, Sean?
I'm a Knicks fan, so that breaks my heart. But at the same time, that is a very, very good comparison. That's a very good point. The Knicks, and I'm not just talking about the Knicks in 2023 that went to the second round of the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm talking about the Knicks that have stunk for years, and the Garden continues to be sold out every single night. That is a great point. And the point he's trying to make, correct me if I'm wrong, is that just because people are in the building does not mean it's a good product.
Rabbit ears count just like streams and records or cable at this point. This combo is about money. Yeah. Streets is saying a lot of people watch it on Twitch. Not me though. Oh yeah, they got that new deal that's about to be happening too. I'm sure they'll count those numbers. More people have watched WrestleMania this year than the Super Bowl. McDonald's has count every single person in this stream that's on Twitch right now. McDonald's has billions served. That don't mean they got the best burger. You also have those that use VPNs for. What do you mean there, BJ? VPNs for AEW Plus on Fight.
No idea what you're talking about, dude.
Which they are. Listen, I know nothing about using a VPN. I would encourage it if it's something you're interested in. Yeah. Pro Wrestling Shoe said, like I said, I'm not watching WWE, but someone is. Lots of someones.
This is true.
I'm not mad at it.
But there's a counterpoint, and it's the point that he was talking about, man. Just because butts are in the seats doesn't mean it's a good product.
And I gotta also.
I just want to. Pro Wrestling Shoot, bro. I am a black and white guy. I love statistics. You can't tell me when I read something on a piece of paper that it's A, B, C, and D, that it's not A, B, C, and D. I respect where you're coming from. You are looking at the numbers. The numbers are undisputed, bro. But in this case, there's just a little bit, Conrad, back me up here. There's just a little bit of more gray to that black and white. WWE sucks, bro. I don't care who. I don't care if they sell out Wembley Stadium. I only think of Wembley Stadium, sorry. I don't care if they sell out the Pontiac Silverdome if they rebuilt it. WWE in 2023 is trash. And nobody can tell me any different.
Quills put it best. Raw's coming to Buffalo next month, July 10th. I ain't going to see that bull jive. Do you know how many times I've had the opportunity? Free tickets. Free. Do you want to go? No. I don't. It just doesn't interest me. And that's probably the same place where Pro Wrestling Shoot is, because he says he's not watching it either. Mm-hmm. I think this. I think WWE brain is a real thing. And people back me up on this if you feel it the same way. How many times do you hear people when they talk about wrestling, they'll say, oh, you mean that WWE stuff? Oh, you mean the thing that Vince McMahon owns? Vince McMahon poisoned pro wrestling for so long that all you think of, he's the Apple of all of this. He is, what's this thing right here? Oh, you mean this iPad? This iPad? You could have the Microsoft one, but everyone still calls it an iPad. You know why? Apple brain.
Yep.
They've got you. It's sunk into your memory core, so you're gonna say that every time.
Yo,
the announcers say it.
Vaseline. It's not called Vaseline. That's a label. It's called petroleum jelly. Kleenex. It's not called Kleenex. They're called tissues.
Brand names.
And big ups to Vince McMahon, as much as he's very disgusting. Big ups to Vince McMahon for making it that way.
Chad got me cracking up. But what I'm saying is that WWE brain stuff is real, but what it does is make me mad when I hear people say AEW shouldn't be doing this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why? They did that years ago. Well, it doesn't make sense now. No, that's because Vince McMahon's been telling you for 20, 30 years it doesn't make sense. Stop listening to him. He wasn't right about everything. He's not right about everything. He got a lot of things right. I will say they have the best production value in the world when it comes to pro wrestling.
Conrad,
the NFL has taken stuff.
He got it right for many, many years, Conrad. And the residual effects of him getting it right in years past is the reason why he's eating right now. That's the bottom line. I can tell you why he's winning. McKinney, I appreciate you, my G. He's winning because of what he's done in the past. And like I said, the residual effects of what he's done in the past are continuing to keep them in pole position. But the product in 2023, respect to Pro Wrestling Shoot, man, I disagree with you, bro. WWE, respectfully disagree. WWE is garbage. Garbage. The Bloodline storyline, as my tag team partner, Brother Conrad, said, the Bloodline storyline has blinded us, man. It has blinded us because WWE is garbage right now.
Right. I'm not arguing WWE being the best pro wrestling because I just wouldn't necessarily call it trash. But what are you not calling it trash for? The numbers? I don't care about those numbers.
That's what I want Pro Wrestling Shoot to clarify. Because I like I said, I can't say it enough. I'm gonna say it for the third time. I'm a big black and white guy. I'm a big numbers guy. I respect when you can read numbers in black and white. It's hard to dispute. But as Conrad just said, are you saying WWE is not trash because they're making numbers, or do you genuinely believe WWE is not a bad product? If that's what you believe, I'll respect your opinion, but I do not see it.
Rob says it's true. I'm the guy that gets the free tickets. Called himself out. Raw and Buffalo should come with Sabres tickets. I don't think anyone's going to that either. At least not here. Not me. Not until they start playing better. Couple of weeks. Couples with their kids going to WWE. That's fair, too. It's a family show. Blue Magic, it's a brand name. That is... Well, I won't talk about the movie if you're referring to that. Gain is gain no matter how ill-gotten it may be. Yeah, that's the problem, though. I always want people to know the truth, though. Vince McMahon didn't get all these numbers by doing the right thing. He did some underhanded things that I'm like, that's dirty, bro.
We know that.
I'll be honest, I haven't paid to go see a WWE show in years. Last time I went to a show was SmackDown at MSG from 2021 from winning free tickets that I won on a whim. WWE production is overproduced. I want some grunge like the NXT Black and Gold. Vince's ratings don't make me enjoy the show. That is a fact as well. That is a fact. And the international audience is real. Coming up, Sean.
Little quick poll for the chat. Oh, by the way, pause. That's a little quick poll for the chat. Pause. Yes or no? Yes or no? Jey Uso turning on Roman. 4 months too late or right on time? If you agree, say you agree that it's too late. If you disagree, say you disagree, right on time.
Okay, we'll wait for people to put that in. We'll talk a little Pro Wrestling Shoot here, and then I got a little more WWE, then we'll move on to some AEW stuff. I'm saying that fans out here are clearly liking it. I've heard statements on radio shows, YouTube, and elsewhere. It's not just the bloodline they are talking about, but numbers are high as always. But I want to know. I want to know what storylines are people loving. Like, someone's got to have an example of, like, this mid-card storyline is great. Who's Gunther feuding with right now?
Gunther is feuding with Kevin Owens a little bit, but no, Riddle is who he's feuding with Riddle.
Do you see the problem when I just asked Sean the question, though? We don't know.
Exactly.
We don't know. When I couldn't think of Zoe Stark's name a couple episodes back, that's a problem. Yeah. I blanked on what her name is. Is that a me problem or is that a WWE problem? I've never had problems remembering any other names. I don't have a problem remembering Seth Rollins. Logan Paul's going to be on Raw. Why do I remember that stuff? It's promoted well. I don't remember some of the other things that are happening. Merch sales are absolutely through the roof. Someone said play, Hub. Yes. You don't say pause around here. We say play. I love it. Somebody said too late.
That is funny. Yo, who said that? E? That's funny.
Let me see here. I agree with Hub. Too late for the J turn. It's the quality of wrestling. It may not have a great story, but the wrestling is solid. It's a family product like Disney for all ages. No profanity or blood. It's basically something for everyone. But that's not true. What you said, though, there is profanity when it's allowed. It's just allowed for certain people, not everyone. Blood. Listen, these blood things with Cody and Brock, they're not being done. They know what they're doing is all I'm going to say. They know what they are doing, whether it's hard way or not. They know that it's okay for Brock to do that stuff. Don't fall for it. That's what I'm saying. So it's for everyone until it's not for everyone. You catch my drift? But don't you dare bring a pizza cutter out during a Domino's commercial because we'll call your sponsors and get that pulled.
There you go. All right. Wow.
Rob says, I say it. It's on time. 4 months ago would have been a guaranteed loss for Jey, in my opinion.
I hear you, Rob. I hear you. I guess, I mean, I'm just thinking about that crowd at the Rumble and that crowd in Montreal, man. Good God Almighty.
Ooh, E came in. I forgot about this. Ratings aren't as high when Triple H made that My Friend Mark promo. Do you remember that, Sean?
I'm drawing a
I'm going to call my friend Mark and complain about the show on TV.
Oh, right.
The arrogance of them also makes me mad because they spit directly in our face. Yeah. And they're telling you, I don't care what you think or what you like. Okay, that's fine. Put some respect on Zoe Stark's name. I can't, bro. I can't. It's not just what you like, but I feel you guys are just not sold on WWE no matter what they do at this point. AEW as well. I feel that across the board it's bad.
We're not jaded, bro. We're not jaded. Let me tell you something. When WWE's better, it's better for wrestling. We don't hope WWE fails. Like, I'm falling asleep watching Raw, man. Like that's bad. That's so freaking bad, man. It's like, and then I hear Seth Rollins and I'll wake up and then I fall asleep again.
Was it on regular TV or a pay-per-view? It was on. So if it's on pay-per-view, it's okay. They swear on TV too sometimes when it's allowed. Like I said though,
BITCH and Hell.
But isn't that the same company that owns it? You get what I'm saying? Why is there restrictions on live TV but not for PLEs? I don't know. We're arguing like BS stuff at this point. But just because I'm not enjoying it doesn't mean others ain't. We've said that though. We've said that other people are enjoying this. I don't get it. That's what I'm asking for. I still have not heard a damn mid-card storyline explain to me why it's good. Where is this mid-card storyline that's so great? Ratings were at like 4 million when Triple H did that. LOL. Zoe Starks is an awful promo. I haven't not heard her talk.
It was bad, Tokyo. I agree. It was real bad.
NXT's the only good thing, hit or miss. Ooh, NXT's been rough though. My suggestion would be to not watch Raw. Problem is, if you don't like it, you continue to watch. Haha. If enough people stop watching, then what? But
I don't watch live. I don't know what the DVR numbers are, but I don't know how the DVR factors in. I don't watch live.
I don't know if they share those types of numbers with it. Yeah. Raw is only worth watching for Seth Rollins and Rhea Ripley, respectfully.
Oh, Rhea Ripley. I gotta give. That's a good point, Quills. Rhea Ripley's been decent, not great though.
If WWE was better, CJ could have a gold boat and some Spartans tickets. Mm-hmm. We'll move forward from the WWE talk, no, we won't. No, we won't. I want your prediction for Money in the Bank. Who are you liking right now for this? Not our official picks or anything, but who's your favorite right now to win the Money in the Bank briefcase? Because this match is lacking a little star power. Rumor is people think Logan Paul could be inserted in. Chat, will this be more interesting with Logan Paul in it? Who do you like out of this?
I'm a big fan of LA Knight, as you know. I have a lot of respect for all these guys, but I think Yeah, I think LA Knight's good. I think Damian Priest is good, but lacking star power is a very big understatement. At this point, we almost need Drew McIntyre to be a surprise entrant. Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Drew McIntyre might come back. But if the match is what it is, as we're looking at it right now, I guess LA Knight. I guess.
I can see that. I can see that. Um, let me see here. Don't watch it all. Don't give them ratings. Okay, but we run a wrestling podcast.
We have to watch. That's our job.
Yeah. You have to at least know what's going on, or you have to at least watch the highlight clips of it.
Yeah.
Everyone has their likes and dislikes. When people think it's trash, they are people that think those marshmallow peeps ain't one of them. LA Knight, yeah, give it to LA Knight. He says, I watch Raw through the Cultaholic news videos and occasional Twitter clips like the Usos last Friday. Yeah. People are feeling it. Rhea Ripley turned because that punk ass kid. I don't know what you're referring to, Tokyo. If you can, Conrad, hit that LA Knight voice. Y'all really got me pulling this up for this. Just for you guys, though, just for love.
Yeah.
So, he's someone who I hope they do push, though, eventually.
I'm not a bandwagon guy. I used to love Eli Drake was my guy, man. So seeing him,
NWA, loved him. He was one of the best things on there. Drew coming back as the true Scottish psychopath and wrecking everyone would be wonderful.
Facts.
I like Drew. I hope he does come back and get some big momentum.
And I'm not really a big Drew McIntyre fan.
BJ, those clips help them determine what people like AEW use the same metrics. There's a word that they call for it. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. For it, maybe it is metrics. Maybe that's what they use.
Clicks. They're just counting clicks.
Yeah.
Watch time.
The thing that works. The things that work, but not every segment on any other show is keeping our attention. WWE, AEW, TNA, NWA are doing the storyline that gets the most views. I get it. Here's my fear, McKinney. What happens when this bloodline thing is done? When are people going to get sick of this? What's your jumping off point? I feel like I'm kind of at it. I know everyone was up in arms about Cody, but then that apparently went away. So do you still want Cody to win? What do you guys want out of this? I guess that's where I'm going to pose the question. Otherwise, yeah. So people are saying LA Knight, shoes of the champion. Someone said Ricochet. I also have a feeling it'll be cashed in on a mid-card champ since that's been emphasized on. Not a fan of that.
Which is terrible.
Dummy, yeah. Dom Mysterio, someone said. Speaking of Rhea, she got to chill on those posts on Instagram. Oh, I ain't commenting on that. I'm staying away from that. UFC's using watch time too. Yeah, UFC doesn't feel as hot as it was probably like a decade ago to me. I don't know.
It's popping, but it's not as popping as they're selling out everywhere they go.
Really?
Yeah.
Must be that model WWE's helping them with. I don't know. We'll see what happens when they join together. It's going to be real interesting times for business-wise to see what they do. Analytics, y'all playing that money ball. Hey, listen, I ain't messing with it. Joel says UFC is hotter. Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in any of the matchups too much. If you tell me two fighters' names, I've seen some like women's divisions fights that I'm like, okay, I can get into that. But for the most part, though, very rarely have I been like, oh, I got to see this UFC fight. If it's on, I'll watch it.
You know, they've done a masterful job, Conrad, of making it a spectacle similar to WWE. I didn't know all the names too. Obviously, I have to study them more than probably you would because I cover them. But it's a good product, but you have to do your homework. Let's put it that way.
Got it. Let's talk about the women's Money in the Bank real quick. Do you have a favorite going into this?
Io Shirai, 100%.
I think Io is my pick as well currently, who I would like to see have it. Because Zoe's got the thing with Trish. Bayley's kind of got a storyline brooding with her group. Zelina Vega's someone I could also see win it because it'd be a way to get her a championship. And I don't think Becky needs it. I think Becky's in here to elevate the other people and get some eyeballs on the match. Let's move forward here. UFC is huge. Yeah, I watch prelims until the main event. UFC, I still watch it, but I don't know all the names like I used to. Interesting. People are saying Io Sky. move on. Have you checked out MLW lately? Fire. I haven't been watching MLW as much.
I have. It is a tremendous product.
It's good on YouTube. I like watching it on YouTube. Battle Riot's always great to go back and watch those. I try to keep up with it. MLW jumps around a lot though, and then it's do I have enough time for it? I think Io or Zelina as well. Okay, Matt. My nephew literally works for the UFC, and I would be the first to tell you that UFC is not good since Conor is gone. They don't have a controversy fighter to sell them cards.
Make sure you check out Bellator too. Bellator is a nice product as well.
Yeah. What are they still on like Spike and all that stuff?
No, they've upgraded. They do their shows on I'd say pay-per-view. It's not really a pay-per-view. If you have Showtime, they do their shows on Showtime.
Okay, so they really elevated.
Yeah.
Io is my favorite, but Zoe's my dark horse just because she's with Trish. Okay. Yeah. WWE only sells because of Triple H's creative. They think that WWE is going to be good again because what Triple H was doing in NXT Black and Gold. July 8th, MLW has a Never Say Never pay-per-view on Fight Plus. Hey, check it out. What channels MLW on now that Vice? See, this is the problem. I can't stay up with what channels MLW goes to. Yeah, they're jumping around.
I usually catch up on YouTube.
Spike. Spike. Yeah, like the dog from Rugrats. PFL made by Bellator.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Vega for the win. Nobody got wrestling on Spike Paramount Network. Why not? I think that's a miss for them. I think they should get some wrestling in there.
Facts.
Sean, let's talk a little AEW Collision here before we get on out of here for Raw. They started their show live on Saturday nights. Got the old feeling of Nitro. They did not come with the Nitro set, but I liked their set design. I thought it looked pretty cool. I don't have a picture of it.
It was dope. I like it.
I thought it was good. So what did you think of the show overall? Like you had an interesting comment about wrestling on Saturday nights to me. We were texting back and forth during the show in the beginning.
Yeah, I think wrestling on Saturday nights is there's some people that have a lot of concerns, but we're just talking about UFC, Saturday night combat sports events, Saturday night pay-per-view events, whatever the case may be. I love it though. I think Saturday night is a nice little niche to have for a wrestling show. 8 o'clock is a really good time. I mean, most people might be going out to dinner around that time, but if you're going out late night, you could watch beforehand. You could always DVR it. That's the beauty of being in 2023. But I think wrestling, new wrestling, weekly wrestling on a Saturday night is an awesome way to go. And now they have a natural 24-hour lead-in to their pay-per-view, and I love it. I think Saturday night is an excellent night.
I like it as well. I think it'll be fine. I get why people fear as well, though. When you're going up against a bunch of other things, what's going to happen to the ratings? But I would hope that the Warner Brothers Discovery, I don't know what else is involved in this anymore. Though I'm just going to call it Warner Brothers Discovery executive team. Whatever they have going on with it, I would hope they have realistic expectations for the numbers, and they're not going to sit up here and be like, "We expect 1 million every week," like the AEW when they don't no million. You see that every week with them.
They should certainly consider Dynamite to be their number one show, and this should be supplemental, and they should hope for decent numbers, and they continue to keep the ball rolling. Set the table for. That's your weekly table setter for Dynamite every single week.
Right. Love everybody showing love in the chat. Collision was a good show to start. I liked it, but of course it had a flaw. But nevertheless, aside, it was good quality wrestling to start. Hopefully it continues. We shall see.
Not too close.
Hey, I thought it was really good. I liked it. I guess we got to get into that opening segment.
Oh, God. Here we go.
CM Punk comes out with a shirt reminding me of Roddy Piper, the classic, but instead his dog Larry's on it with some Chicago colors. I thought it was nice. It was cool for the shirt. But CM Punk came out and Sean, he came out to a raucous feel. This one, some people argued that maybe the announce team shouldn't have talked. I thought that they had to establish the show kind of with Nigel and Kevin Kelly. I really didn't get your thoughts on the announce team, if you like them or not. Are you a Kevin Kelly guy back in the
I
day?
don't
He's been around
mind
a while.
Kevin Kelly. I don't mind Nigel McGuinness. I want to talk about CM Punk.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
You walk back in the door after a 9-month hiatus. The whole world's waiting for you. The whole world is waiting for you, Phil. Just take it easy, bro. Why must you? It's like you just got to come out and just throw jabs for no reason. Like, leave it alone. Like,
Keep it going.
I know controversy creates cash, but my God, that was my. It was like, what are you? Right from the start, like you walk back
Sean,
to the door after 9 months and you're talking crap already. Just shut up.
Nah, time out. Sean called me. He was tight that Punk started like
What are you
this.
doing?
He had to. And I'll tell you why he had to.
The counterfeit Bucks line was fire. I'm not gonna lie. I see Matt Lopez. I see Guy Gamble. Yes, that line was dope. But it's like, why do you always have to poke the bear, CM Punk? Like, Phil, just wrestle. Everybody's happy you're back. I'm happy you're back. Contrary to popular belief, I am extremely happy. The world of wrestling is better when Phil Brooks is involved. But just shut up, please.
I'll let you continue.
Because, and I'll wrap it up with this because I'm gonna give you the floor. Because you're gonna come back, you're gonna talk crap, and then if we get a report, God forbid, that somebody steps to you backstage, you're gonna get into another fight, another argument. Oh, that wasn't part of the deal. We weren't aware that he was gonna come back talking crap. Oh, so if you want to talk crap, I'm gonna talk crap. Then now here comes the Elite on Dynamite. Oh, CM Punk, they're gonna start using word conundrums and start doing hidden meaning stuff. Anybody who wrestles in Chicago, they stink, or obviously a lot more expletive, a lot more heart. It's like you want to throw shade, and then when somebody throws shade at you, you get mad. Because I promise you, if they come back at him, he's going to get mad again.
Rob has my answer in this. Mans cannot chill, literally incapable. Some people are like that. I've been saying this from the beginning. I don't know why people are surprised. Punk is not going to let you do stuff to him because he's always going to fight because he views it as he's fighting for himself. I know, Sean. Listen, I'm not like that all the time either. Not to where you fight for yourself, but I've also learned over the years to stand up for myself. You can't be quiet with some of these because remember what happened first when they went to Chicago. They were in Punk's territory and they made fun of him. So to me, it was fair game. Now, look, if nothing's going to come from this, if you're not doing the match, let it go. But if this match is happening, don't tease the people. Don't tease the people. Let us know. Keep watching it. That was one of the top 10 trending videos on YouTube. Controversy brings views. I did not know that was trending on the top 10 videos.
Jocelyn, you're 100% correct. What CM Punk needs to do.
Rob said this warranted a receipt.
What Phil Brooks needs to do is just think. Just think. I'm not saying I've said the same thing for over 6 months. CM Punk is not the only problem here. But there comes a point where you have to rise above this crap. You're a grown man. Just rise above. Yo, Conrad, I'm a hothead. I'm a huge hot. We've had personal conversations. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to cuss somebody out at the drop of a dime. I repress it because I'm trying to be a better person. But sometimes you have to rise above. Man, you know how many people? I can't cuss out or fight everybody that pisses me off. I wouldn't be a free man. CM Punk is listen. Feed your family and shut up. Like, I'm not saying let anybody walk over you, bro. But
Sean, I don't think he's doing this. I don't think he's doing this to feed his family. He's past that point. He's always lived like he never had money. You get what I'm saying with him? Look at the dude used to wear that same Chicago Cubs hat that he always had. This isn't about money.
Conrad, you have to. When I say you, I mean you, I'm saying you have to graduate in life. Graduate from school. Graduate in jobs. Graduate in mentality. When do you get tired of being that guy? That's the question I have for Phil Brooks. When are you going to get tired? You are one of the best. I wouldn't say you're the best in the world. You're one of the best in the world. People follow you wherever you go. You're amazing. But when is Phil Brooks, and this question is for you specifically, Conrad, because you've been his biggest advocate. When are you going to get tired of being that guy?
I think until he actually retires. McKinney, I feel like, nails it as well. He had to say something. It was subliminal. Number one, you know, when people talk all that, the casual stuff, him saying it, it made sense in his promo, but if you knew, you knew. You get that? So some people are probably like, let's say you never watched and you didn't know about the brawl out and everything. You'd have been like, oh, he's an article bill, article money, counterfeit buck. I get it. Okay, cool. But we knew that was a shot, though, because they were in a smart town like Chicago. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. CM Punk is not the best wrestler. And I mean technical wise. He is no savant in the ring. He is not Mr. like, this is smooth looking. Look at him go. He is good, but he's not like, oh my goodness, you got to watch how he puts his feet, places them. He's not Christian. He's not all these other guys that you would put in those great categories like that, right? But what people could learn from CM Punk is he is a wordsmith when it comes to the microphone. He didn't have to get people to chant F the Elite during the segment. You know why they did it? They did it for themselves. Punk didn't encourage it. You get what I mean when I say that? Like, he didn't have to say, he didn't have to mention them and say it.
But what I'm saying, and this is maybe, you know me, but maybe you're not picking up on what I'm saying, and I'm sure some of the chat.
What I'm saying is it's pro wrestling, and this is how you make money doing it.
And what I'm talking about is beyond pro wrestling. I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about when that man goes to sleep at night, he needs to stop thinking about the Young Bucks and the Elite. What I'm saying is that I know controversy creates cash, ML. I get that, and I think JJ was talking the same thing. I'm with you, Jocelyn. I'm talking to Phil Brooks as a human being. Phil Brooks. My message to Phil Brooks would be simply this, and you tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. You are one of the most recognizable names in all of sports, not just sports entertainment, in all of sports. You are a multi-millionaire. I'm not in his pockets. I'm assuming he's a multi-millionaire with a beautiful wife and a family. Rise above this. That's all I'm saying. Rise above this. Everybody universally recognizes the Young Bucks and all those guys as being somewhat immature. We know that. We know that about them. They're kind of like kids on field day. We know that. They need to grow up. But that's
what Punk said too. But they're also in position.
Just leave it alone, Conrad. You're a grown man. You're a made man. You don't need to be involved. That's my point, bro. Forget wrestling. This is real life. You know I get deep sometimes, and I'm talking to myself too. Sometimes I have to talk myself down when somebody pisses me off. You're a successful guy. You have a family. You're doing well. Just leave it alone, bro. Your success is all the revenge. There you go. Your success is all the revenge you need.
Touche. It depends on. This goes back into the different personalities, Sean, and what motivates you, though. That's a key thing to learn about people. I hope that AEW is doing those personality tests to see what motivates people. Some people, I can say, here's $100. You're going to do this? Yeah, absolutely. But some people, that's not enough. That's not the motivation. There's a limit to it, and then sometimes you got to play the balancing game of what creates it. I think that hold on. McKinney's got a comment here. I'm going to bring this up because it relates right to what you were saying. So if you're talk about real life, then you shouldn't be mad at him for blowing up because he's a businessman, and that's being ran by kids. He had enough and had to vent, just like you said about yourself. So he's putting it back on to he's a businessman and he had to vent.
Look at. I respect you, McKinney, but look at Ray Thompson's comment above that. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things you have to take into consideration. What I'm trying to do is I get where McKinney's coming from, but at the same token, look at what Thompson's saying. That resonated with him. People need to understand, bro, that in life, there's every single day you can go left or right, figuratively and literally. The next figurative turn, we'll focus more on the figurative. The next figurative turn you make could be the best decision of your life or the biggest mistake of your life. CM Punk does not need to engage anymore. I know what it feels like to listen. I'm gonna take you guys down a real life turn right here, okay? When I was a kid, I was bullied as a kid. And as I got older, that's why I fought all the time. That's why I have temper issues. That's why I always am like if I feel like somebody's wronged me, Conrad, you know that I've talked to you about this. If I feel like somebody's wronged me, I have to jump and I have to act and I have to do everything to make sure that people know that I'm not soft. And yes, I accomplished that. And there's many people that have crossed my path, Conrad, who can testify to the fact that Sean is not soft. But there comes a point in life, man, where it's like, bro, you don't have anything else to prove. Just live, bro. That's what I'm saying to Phil Brooks, McKinney, whoever else is. Just live. You don't need to engage. Rise above is what I'm saying.
And you're not wrong.
I'm wrong, bro.
No, well, I think there's wrong portions. To me, this is Brett and Sean Montreal. Do you do what your boss says? Or was Brett right? You get what I'm saying? Was Brett right to say no? Or was it Vince screwed him and he should have kept his word like he said he was? You could go back and forth all day with this. Because when you look at the ESPN article, did you see that what they did? I sent you the Matt Coon got blocked stuff. Shout out to Matt Coon. Give him a follow. He's got a great podcast called Wrestling Friends. It's a good podcast. He has a bunch of great guests on there from the community. Check it out. He's great. He did Regal's podcast and Dax's as well. And he's kind of been on that camp side with all of this. Now, look, when they were talking about the chop to the face, Punk said, this is what makes me mad when people don't get it. Punk said, Hangman, so he confirmed, me and MJF talked about the shots we were going to take. Cool, no problem. Eddie Kingston and myself talked about the shot. Cool, old school, no problem. Hangman did that and he didn't clear it, and they had already talked backstage about what they were going to do. He was like, what's this? That's not what we agreed to. And then you're supposed to go and say, I trust you with my body. Here's my body. You're not going to hurt me, right? No, you're bringing up problems. This person then chops Punk, and he's been known for being stiff. This also got talked about. This is what got Matt Coon blocked, I believe, because he started saying, remember when Joey Janela said that he worked very stiff on Twitter? And then Arn Anderson also, something got mentioned where Arn Anderson said something to him about you're working too stiff, apparently. Like, you got to stop punching people for real and, like, chopping them. And I don't know if this happens to Sheamus or what, or maybe he wants you to bring it back, but that's got to be communicated. Those lines of communication got cut off after that promo because you did something you weren't supposed to do. He chopped him. Did you see the chop? Did I send that to you or no? Yeah. The chop to the face, bro. He said he chipped one of my teeth after. And he's like,
it was crazy. Totally inappropriate.
No, it was an accident. I don't believe Hangman did that on purpose, but in Punk's mind in the moment, you're thinking, did he hit me in the face on purpose? Should I give him a receipt? Because in wrestling, if someone hits you, lighten up. Stop doing that. Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Yeah. I won't say what he said, but he punched him in the head for real, too.
Yes, sir.
What do you do in those situations? And you can see in the match, go back and watch it. Punk hesitated on neck breakers. What are you guys doing? Like, you could feel that they were calling it in the ring, and it was like, do this, wonky. Yeah. Okay, pause. Okay, I got you. Boom. None of that stuff made the match flow right. Now, I got on Twitter today to see some people. They were talking, and I saw fans upset that people were yelling at them to not support CM Punk. And I'm like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, I don't like that.
And they're bullying bigger wrestling Twitter accounts into saying like, yeah, you shouldn't like him, you shouldn't support him. I'm turning it off every Saturday if he's on the show, and if he's on Dynamite, I'm not watching this week too. They are alienating their audience. And the ESPN article, I believe I sent that to you. When they sent that out, I get maybe did Punk go into it too much? I didn't think it was as bad as the world is falling. Remember that? This is
right. To use your words, the world wasn't falling. It was rough, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, the wrestling media world got on it, man. I can't believe it, man. That it just upset me so bad, and how they like tried to frame it, and it was one of those ones where I think people were like, Punk ain't that bad, bro. Calm down with this. It was an interview. Tony Khan has to clear these interviews. And he said it. The first thing I did after I talked to Tony after the media scrum was I apologize. I put you in that position. He said sorry to him. But he also made it clear in that article that was not Tony's first time hearing all of this. He did not handle business. It's what Sean's been saying from the beginning with Tony Khan. He is a problem.
Right.
He is a problem. McKinney responds. He says, I get it, Sean, but you got to wear that shoe sometimes. He was hated from day one. He's kept quiet, but the Hangman pulled that. Is that a cow? I'm assuming that's cow.
No, it's bull crap.
Yeah. And TV, and that broke his back, and he humbled himself and got slapped.
Right.
And like I said, he's still walking around. Nothing ever happened to Hangman for doing it.
Yeah.
What message does that send? Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And that's why Andrade punched Sammy. That's why you got the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker drama. And now Collision feels like the Castaways. So now people aren't going to watch the show because of that. You can't bully people over that and do that. At this point, I think Punk closed the door. But this is why I said he was a master wordsmith in it. Did you notice what else he did? He opened the door for a bunch of feuds.
Yes, he did.
Hear me out. Jay White was not pinned in the trios match in the main event. That's a potential feud. And Punk just put him over in a post saying, look at me drop this cool Macho Man elbow on Jay White. And it's actually Jay White giving him a Uranagi where he destroyed Punk.
Mm-hmm.
You also had him come out with that red bag. And in it was supposed to be the AEW championship he never lost. He never even had to pull it out because you knew.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a great line, too, about the wrestling boots around his neck, which I was wondering why he came out with those. But it all fit into his promo. And when he did that, he opened up the door for this. He said, I was never beaten for that world championship. He's stopped me when I'm telling lies. He's not lying. He was never pinned or defeated. MJF beat John Moxley for that championship. And things have been kind of wonky ever since that time period a little bit with the story and how you feel about it. What matches do you want to see from this as a fan with Punk? Because Punk and Joe interest me. When they got in the ring, it was at an electric pace, I thought, for the fan base where they were like, yes, I want to see this again. And it got real when they got in there with the chops.
Well, I think the AEW world is centered around what's going to happen at Wembley Stadium at the end of August. And I think that what we kind of got a taste of was probably going to be MJF versus CM Punk. I think we all wanted to see and continue to want to see Omega versus Punk. But that promo you're talking about, it really made me feel like CM Punk would be going up against MJF. I just don't see it going any other way at this point.
I feel like you're going to have to revisit that. And with that being said, I guess we'll put the end cap on it. I'm happy Punk's back.
Me too.
I've been the first one to say this. The whole stuff with the Elite, if it's not happening, let's not talk about it anymore. If you're not going to do it. But I do have a fear for the Elite, which is if you did this, when someone wants to sign later, what happens if I disagree with them?
X.
Is it going to be a problem? Tony has to think about this when he's looking to re-sign these guys and Hangman now. And they have all the leverage. Why would you let 5 contracts like that expire at the same time? Or excuse me, 4 of them, I'm sorry. Kenny, the Bucks, and Hangman. That's 4 contracts expiring at the same time for people that you feel like you have to give all the leverage to because there's no AEW without them. I'm going to tell you guys this too, and I've said it since day one. AEW will continue without CM Punk. AEW will continue without the Elite. Face the facts, Jack. That's what's going to happen one day. It's going to have to happen. Get over it.
And you want it to happen because that means that they're able to sustain. Because CM Punk's probably only got about a year or 2 left.
Right? Punk got that ace, that Yuta dog in him. I love the line where Punk said you can have the greatest dog collar match ever, but who won? He brought it back to what pro wrestling is.
Yep, absolutely.
You could talk all that mess that you want to.
For the record, I'm happy CM Punk is back. I don't want there to be any misconception about that. I think the brother has. I think all I'm saying is I think the brother has reached a status where he can rise above. I'm not saying, look, it's hard to turn the other cheek sometimes. I get it.
And there's people, like I said, in wrestling, they've done much worse. Stop acting like CM Punk murdered somebody.
Right, exactly.
I said it.
Exactly.
Stop. He punched someone in the face because he had a disagreement with them. It's not the end of the world, all right? Could he have done better? Absolutely. Did he make the right choice? He acknowledged that he's made the wrong choice. He's actually said that they don't want to talk to him.
And that shows immaturity on their part. Like I said, they're just as much the fault as him.
Right? Let's take a look at this real quick, though. We got Forbidden Door coming up, Sean. As you guys can see, the card is right here. Boom. AEW on TV has it coming up. It's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to this. I am super hyped right now for this.
Yeah, I wish I was going.
Hey, feel free, man. If not, put that money down. I think this is going to be worth it, man. You're getting two certified possible match of the year candidates. Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada is going to be money. Looking forward to the other matches. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay. The rumor is this is going to close the show. And I think right now, if you ask me,
become the champion once again. Will Ospreay is who Hubbard has always said is the best wrestler in the world.
You have, and you've stood by that. You have stood by that. And I think that this is going to be a certified banger. This closing the show. This is my match of the year right now from Wrestle Kingdom. This is the match that I think is my favorite. We even had Jungle Boy Jack Perry going up against Sonata. That's another match that was added. I felt a little cornyism where he was like, "Hook, you're my friend, and I want you in my corner." I was like, "Huh?"
Super corny.
But Tony Khan said that this is going to kick off some of the stuff for his most important show, like you said, All In. He's focused on that. He knows what he needs to do for that. MJF is allegedly going to face Hiroshi Tanahashi. He has also said, "I'm not doing this match." Could Punk come out as the replacement to steal the shine?
Ooh, now that's good television. That's good television, Conrad. Yes, Conrad. Looks like Conrad possibly lost the feed with Conrad. But yo, I'm telling you something right now, man. You got to think about Forbidden Door and everything that Forbidden Door is bringing to the table. And let's call a spade as Conrad comes back into the fold, man. You cannot have this be anything less than the ultimate. I want it to be a tremendous show, but like Conrad was saying, it has to be the lead-in of all lead-ins to All In. You want All In to be the biggest show in your company's history. It starts on June 25th.
Right? I'm going to read a few comments here to get into it. Punk and Joe at the next pay-per-view where they built it on the fact that Punk never beat Joe. You could really do that. Punk wins and goes on to face MJF if you're really trying to keep him away from other people. MJF's got to beat him, though. You listen, you know I'm a Punk fan. I got to be a realist, though. MJF has to beat Punk again, then. Some dude's got to get punched in the face, LOL.
I hear you.
Fight Forever dropping the same time worldwide. Don't get banned from Sony for life changing your clock to Australia or something. I will not do that. Ospreay all day. They're only selling 4 matches, but it's going to be totally worth it. Oh, they're going to add a bunch, this week. Speaking of Australia, y'all see Kyle Fletcher and Sky Blue Chew. Chill. I don't know what happened with Dante. Ospreay just Ricochet without a tan. Yo, chill. Nothing about Scott and PCO versus Bully Ray versus Steve Macklin. It's looking good. Listen, I'm happy with Impact. Yo,
30.
AEW made 2 good possible hires. Chris Hero trying out to be an agent or working backstage. And, well, we didn't talk about BJ Whitmer. You can look him up if you want. I'm done with all that mess. BJ Whitmer is gone from AEW due to an arrest. You can look all that up.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Jacobs now working in creative. He was doing Impact's creative. So if you've been enjoying Impact, like I said, I think Impact was really good creatively. He's over in AEW now. They're just snatching people up. Quills is excited about it. Renegade L2K Punk replaces MJF and claims he's still the champ. You could definitely do that. No. We don't disrespect Will Ospreay.
Never.
Random note there, but Punk was going to face Tanahashi last year before the injury. Agreed. Doug said, got to see the actual green screen for a second. Chill, Doug, chill. The exposure is real. It was because I shared my screen. I got a weird error right after. I was like, what happened? Tanahashi versus Punk was the match that was supposed to main event last year. Ricochet need that Puma mask back on. Ain't nobody feeling him like Joe Buttons. Moose re-signed with Impact. We did see that recently. Tony's going to have Hero and Jacobs wrestling by the end of the week. Matt Lopez says, I wouldn't mind Chris Hero versus Claudio at the next ROH pay-per-view since doing Kingston versus Claudio too. Yeah. I mean, Sean, overall, let's close out with how you feel about the AEW product right now. Like, what do they need to do going forward, do you think, to attract new viewers? If he said, Sean, I know you're not on my creative team yet, but I want you to tell me, what do you think we should be doing?
Continue to cause havoc. Continue to have utter and complete madness. Last Wednesday was exactly what I want out of AEW. It was unpredictable, it was competitive, it was intriguing. That's what you need. Just stick to that formula. Stop going into that WWE kind of mode where you start getting complacent. No complacency, full speed ahead, continue doing what you're doing. I thought that they hit a home run with last week on Dynamite after a couple of singles, and I think that they hit a home run with Collision. Just keep it going. The last week or so is indicative of what it's going to take for AEW. Stop worrying about the live crowds. The live crowds will come if you keep doing what you've been doing over the last 10 days.
Sean, I keep telling people that 83 weeks, yeah, WCW was on top, but that didn't mean they were the best product them 83 weeks. I'll tell you the God's honest truth when it comes to that. I thought WWF was better for many of those weeks.
They were.
It took you a while to get that momentum.
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom. And then once it's rolling, it don't stop. It's like an avalanche.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll speak for myself. That I was a young kid at that time. I would continue watching WCW out of habit until I would continue clicking over here and there. And before you know it, when you click over, you start clicking back a little slower to the point where it starts to become forgotten. AEW does not need to worry about WWE. Just do your own thing.
I think they've been better at that this year, too. I think they've kind of chilled out on the shots and everything. Will we get Tony in a match this year? That's going to be a hot mess. Tony Khan better not be in no matches this year.
He can barely talk. I don't know why he would want to wrestle.
And Guy Will Gamble said it took WCW messing up bad for a while for the shoe to drop. That is a fact. That's a fact. And I don't know how you feel about ROH being snuck in with Eddie Kingston and Claudio. I know a lot of people didn't understand why that was like a deal when Kingston came out, but that was an ROH thing. Do you still keep ROH separate, or do you view ROH as like their NXT per se?
I think AEW needs to kind of think about letting that ROH thing go. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't need to have their attention diverted in too many directions. They are not established to that point yet. You cannot continue to split and divert and alternate and look back and forth, making sure that everything's squared on all sides. What you need to do is you need to focus on Dynamite being your number one show, focus on Collision being your number two show, and slowly but surely Ring of I love the lineage of Ring of Honor, but this is not 1999. We need to start getting refocused and start getting and not even 2010. This is 2023. The brand went out of business for a reason. I respect it. I love it. I love its lineage. I love its history. But let's just focus on AEW.
Well, that's the final word from Sean. Sean, you got anything coming up this week?
Yes, dropping the first of a 4-part article series on Crawford versus Spence coming up on pay-per-view. Looking forward to that. And I'm going to actually be having big shout out to my homegirl. Got a big show bringing back my girl Crystal on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on July 1st, the morning of Money in the Bank. She will be a guest on the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly podcast. Got to try and get her on Clash of the Podcast too. But she will be on the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly podcast on July 1st. Very educated, smart, beautiful young lady in the world of professional wrestling, and she will be my guest on HWW on July 1st.
Man ain't telling no lies about that $85. They ain't playing. But for that fight. And that's Spencer versus Crawford.
Yeah, Spencer versus Crawford. That's a lot of money, though, man. It's a lot of money. I mean, I don't know what it is. The thing is, when you charge $85, $84.99 for Spence versus Crawford, I'm cool with that. But you can't be charging $85 for Davis versus Garcia, which is what they did last month.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, if you're saying that Davis and Garcia is worth $85, that means that Crawford versus Spence should be worth $100. But at the end of the day, no fight should be $100. Spence and Crawford should be $85. Everything else should be below that. But unfortunately, it looks like they're charging $85, $74.99, $84.99 across the board. It's getting ridiculous.
I'm no lie, man. So I can't put that up. Well, yes, I can for a second. Mm-hmm. Cut it out. Cut it out, though. Listen.
Davis, M. Leezy, Davis versus Garcia's price point last month was $84.99.
I think he's saying it ain't worth that.
Oh, then in that case, I agree with you completely. Yeah.
Yesterday's price ain't today's price. That's a fact when it comes to wrestling. But if you like free content, come on over here. Everything Pro Wrestling live this Wednesday. Me and Derek are going to be doing a Dynamite review, probably getting some preview and predictions in on Forbidden Door. Maybe they'll announce the rest of the card. We'll try to get to it and discuss that as much as we can. Also have an AEW Fight Forever video possibly dropping. It's going to be about a 20-minute video almost. I worked on it. I might redo it one more time. We'll see, but keep your eyes peeled for that. Be on the lookout. That'll be a upload video though.
Check Hubbard Wrestling Weekly Shorts. Dropped the video last week. Stop smiling, Raquel Rodriguez. For the love of God, stop smiling.
Right? Don't even start. WWE PLEs will be $80 on ESPN Plus. Now for them 6 match cards, I'm good. For myself, tag team partner Sean Hubbard of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. We are out. Make sure you guys check out our brands. Thank you. Peace.